Hey guys, today what we're looking at here is converting between different measurements. So one thing we need to do, quite often when we're dealing with different proportions and fractions, and this is a very practical piece of it, is we're converting from one label of measurement to another. So maybe we're going from feet to inches, right, or centimeters to meters, or things like that. And some of those conversions are fairly easy, meaning we know that 12 inches make up 1 foot. And we are familiar with that, but sometimes where we have bigger conversions or we're going, between multiple conversion factors. And so we need to talk about the process on how to set these up to make sure that we can do these correctly. And the biggest idea, guys, that I think we can do is to make sure that we're going to write everything as fractions, and our goal is to cancel our labels. Now, here's what I mean by that. If in a fraction form, if I had something like 2 over 4, right, we know that we could take a 2 out of everything in the top and bottom, right, and we'd end up with 1/2 for a fraction. It's kind of a similar idea, right? If we have something that's the same on the top and the same on the bottom, those things will cancel. And that's our entire goal when we're doing these conversions today. So here's some steps that you can do, and like I'm saying, we're going to write this as something we want to change and put it over 1. So maybe I want to change inches to feet, so I want to change 12 inches to feet, all right? So the first thing I want to do, right, is I'm going to write the number, and you want, with your label, and I'm going to put it over 1. And then we're going to multiply by a fraction line. So I'm going to put this fraction line out here. Okay, and now, as we mentioned in the last slide, the key factor here is that I want to cancel my labels. So if I have inches on top, I need to cancel inches on the bottom. All right, I'm going to put the label I want on top, so maybe I want feet on top, and then now I'm going to use my conversion factor. So how many feet or how many inches are in 1 feet? Or 1 foot? Well, 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. Okay, so this is my conversion factor. All right, and then now we would just simply do the math. Right, so our goal again, guys, was to cancel our labels, inches on top and bottom, which I can. All right, and in this case, the one that I chose obviously was a pretty simple one. We know that their 12s would cancel, and we just end up with 1 foot. Right, so 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. Let's look at a couple that maybe need a little bit more work. Okay, so this is saying convert 36 quarts into gallons. All right, so I have 36 quarts. I forgot a 6 in there. Let's try that again. 36 quarts, and my goal is to convert this to gallons. All right, so I'm going to put this over 1, we said. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my multiply by my fraction line. Okay, and I currently have quarts on top. So I want to cancel, make sure quarts are on the bottom. And then I'm going to use my conversion factor, right? I want to get to gallons, so gallons goes on the top. And then I'm going to use these numbers that are listed here in my fraction, right? 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So I have it set up. Now let's do our math. So what I can do then is, well, quarts will cancel, all right? So if I multiply it across, I'd have 36 times 1, which would be 36 gallons. And if I multiply it across on the bottom, I have 1 times 4, which is 4. And of course, the quarts went away. And could I simplify that farther? Yes. 4 divides nicely into 36 9 times. So 36 quarts is the same as 9 gallons. Why don't you go ahead and try and set this one up on your own. So we have 48 feet, and our goal is to convert this to yards. Here's your conversion factor. See if you can do this on your own. Okay, so I set mine up. I put my original number over 1. I set up my fraction here where I'm canceling my label, so I had foot was on the bottom. And then I used my ratio that I was given, and that's what I plugged in here. And then feet would cancel. Multiply across, I get 48 over 3, which simplifies to 16. One last example today, and now we're going from meters to feet. And we're going to set this up very much the same way. However, it's just going to be a slightly, different number, right, that we're dealing with the decimals. So again, we are at 10 meters. Our goal is to convert to feet. See if you can pause your video and complete this one on your own. All right, so I set it up 10 meters. I multiplied by my conversion factor, 3.28 over 1 meter. Meters canceled. 10 times 3.28 is 32.8. So 10 meters is the same as 32.8 feet.